Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Children of Morta. I think now we are going to be doing a mandatory story mission because, hmm,
Energy to the sanctuary had been cut off, rendered useless. The corruption's delegate had accomplished more than just a kidnapping here.
right, I was going to say I don't think the chapter select screen is going to be available, but I, to be honest, never actually even tried to do this while this event was active. And indeed, that bit of, explanation from the narrator confirms that you can't actually do your normal chapters while this event is active. Now, what is this event? Well, if you were with us last episode, you'll know that Mary was abducted, and our goal now is to recover her.
The forest was dense and full of dangers, but finding Mary was the most important thing now.
This is a one-off dungeon which you only go to once per playthrough. I mean, assuming you succeed the first time. Now, we do get to decide who we want to send. If this was a like a stereotypical, traditional medieval fantasy, you would expect someone like John to be going in. You know, big, strong man saving his wife. You know, a kind of story that we've seen time and time again. But for those who've seen how things have gone in this game, you'll know that John is perhaps not the best candidate for the task. He's okay in offense, but his gimmick of being a defensive, shield-bearing warrior who can tank hits kind of falls apart when enemies can break his guard with just 2 or 3 solid hits. Couple that with the fact that he only has one evade. So he lunges once, and then he's gonna wait for his bar to fill up again, like he's gotta catch his breath. Clearly, dude needs to do more cardio. In general, as I mentioned before, this game isn't built for melee characters the same way as it is for ranged characters. But I don't want to, rag on John, because the same to different degrees is true of all the melee characters, right? So Kevin, yes, he can do a lot of damage very quickly, but in order to build up his attack speed, he needs to land a few hits first. He is generally always exposed, and he can go down pretty quickly because of the way you're forced to fight with him. Mark, he's pretty quick. His melee attacks do have a bit of range to them, so he's a bit safer in that sense. But the main special ability he has, the Scourging Whip, I think it's called, it has a very precise area of effect that can be hard to tell. And when your main form of crowd control is something that you're not sure is going to work on every enemy, and sometimes you think it's going to work on an enemy, but the enemy, I guess, is just outside of the radius, and instead of being stunned, they will then hit you because you're still in your whip animation. That, he's a tricky character to play. Joey, who we unlocked last time, surprised me and possibly even surprised you a lot, given the fact that we were able to beat the first boss that we fought in the first dungeon we went to with Joey. So technically, we are still undefeated as Joey, but he, as you saw, is pretty slow. In fact, even when evading, he kind of holds still for a split second before going, so yes, he hits hard. Yes, he starts out with a lot of health, but doesn't have good ways of maintaining it. What does that leave us with? Leaves us with our 2 ranged characters. Now let's talk about Linda. She has the explosive crescendo, which targets enemies from far, far away, and does a fair amount of damage. She can also kind of kite enemies walking backwards, but she can only do that for a limited amount of time, and recently unlocked an ability that allows her to stun nearby enemies. All very good abilities, but doesn't have any fallback defensive options if enemies breach all of these lines of defense. If they can survive her attacks and then also survive her special stun ability, there's not a lot she can do, especially backed into a corner. That brings us to our final character, and chances are you knew that this entire monologue was gonna be me rationalizing why I'm gonna be playing as Lucy, who I have already said is my favorite character in this game. But let's just refresh our memory and talk about her skills. She does damage mainly through a rapid-fire ranged attack, which if she stands still and shoots long enough will start generating sidewinders to do extra damage. But notably, she has very strong defensive abilities as well. She can summon a decoy of herself, which will attract enemies to attack it rather than her. She can also summon a cyclone to hold enemies in place while she attacks them. So, in addition to her pretty effective attack, she also has really good defense. And on top of all of that, because she is fresh off a successful stint in the first zone of the second act, she also has a lot more experience than anyone else. Linda is the only one who is close, but is still 2 levels behind Lucy. So we are going to be going with Lucy for this rescue mission. And hopefully we do a good job. I am a... Wait.
Somewhere out there, surrounded by the darkness, Mary and her unborn child lay in need. The Bergsons would find them.
I was gonna say, I am a little bit nervous because I don't remember exactly how the fight at the end of this goes. All I remember is that it has some gimmicks that are unique to this fight alone. I believe maybe that symbol signifies that we've gotten a checkpoint. We'll see.
Gluttonous and ravenous, it seized the lesser creature and took it into itself. Oh, the Guardian thought, for there was no time to waste.
Okay, as the narrator as the narrator has suggested to us, and as is probably obvious just from the look of that thing, we don't want that giant vortex coming close to us, because it would not be good. However, before we can progress, periodically we will reach these gates, which we can't go past unless we have beaten the enemies before it. Now, fortunately, this vortex, as you saw from the opening animation, and as you saw right at the end of that first gate, will in fact kill... I was gonna say, the vortex will kill enemies as well, but will also kill you if you make contact with it. Now, I thought I had killed all the enemies, but I guess I hadn't. Fortunately, I think enemies might stay dead, but maybe not. As I said, there are gimmicks that are unique to this stage. Okay. It's possible that enemies regenerate every time. Okay. I think we can go past now. Okay, now we can go past. Now I'm just gonna run as far as I can. I think what might have happened was there might have been an enemy that the vortex missed early on in its path, and that was preventing us from going forward. Okay, now we can go forward again. And it seems we are possibly safe from the vortex, but now a new problem has arisen, is we are trapped in this area. And I am using all my defensive options. It seems we do get experience from these enemies, so that is good. We don't get gold, it seems. Only experience. And there's an enemy somewhere. Oh. We need gemstones. Okay, here we go. I think another gimmick that I think is unique to this particular area is that there are these pillars. You activate them by using up gemstones, and they will do that aura, or they'll do a radiating burst outwards. And that burst will do some damage, and is also... Oh, excuse me. Oh no. That burst is also how I think you progress past this area. I think you just gotta kill enough enemies until one of them drops a shard. I think that's how it works. Oh, I'm standing on a damaging thing. Okay. We might be going down temporarily. Yeah, looks like it. Just too much garbage on the screen. Yep, we're going down. Yeah, and there's a thing right there. Hopefully we don't have to deal with the early enemies and we can just walk all the way to the end. Oh no, this thing is still there. That's a bit of an issue. Oh no, really a spike trap and a chase sequence, like a gravity spike trap at that? That's a bit harsh, game. One bit of good news is that we are slowly getting experience as well. We have our experience bonuses as well. Okay. From the Book of Rhea. Okay, this is a bit of a... Oh no, I thought I could have... Oh, we made it. I was gonna say, oh, we made it to the end. We did make it to the end, but that thing tagged us right at the end. This is a... I feel like this part of this fight is harder than the actual boss fight at the end. Just because it's not really explained to you what you're supposed to do. And the checkpoints are few and far between. Taking a bunch of damage, but damage is irrelevant because this thing is gonna kill us in a single hit. Took some hits from some enemies. Uh-oh, we're gonna be going down again shortly. Again, keeps getting me right at the end. Maybe this part of the game was not balanced for hard mode, because even with the strongest character, seems like I'm having trouble killing the last enemies quickly enough to get any progress. I'm just gonna run all the way to the end this time. Excuse me? Excuse me? What? Why can't... Oh. I was like, why couldn't I move forward? Now, I'm just once again gonna run all the way to the barrier at the end. I'm gonna set up my defenses, my decoy, and my twister. And, okay, now we've gone forward. Now we're in this part of the... this part of the level again. Where... okay. We need to be mindful of damaging vortexes created on the ground. And also of enemies launching ranged attacks at us. Okay, the ground has been filled up with garbage. And I don't appreciate this guy. It's so hard to see the stuff he's throwing on the ground. Alright, let's see if we can take out the troublesome enemies quickly. Oh boy, this is a bit of an issue. His walls are also stopping us from doing damage to the other enemies. Oh, finally we get something, and this should heal us. Yes, it healed us a little bit. We are not done though. Again, we're going to be in a situation where damaging pools or damaging vortexes are going to be created on the ground. We need to avoid those. We've got another thing to worry about with that enemy over there, but I think we might be actually getting through this time. Come on. Alright, using all my abilities, pulling out all the stops. Alright, we've got our gemstone. Whoop. That has again taken out all the enemies, but we're still not done. You can see how useful the decoy is, because without it, we would be taking a lot of hits. Alright, alright. I think we should be close to getting another gemstone. Well, we didn't get a gemstone, we got a kill streak bonus, which is nice, but not really what I want. Waiting for my decoy to go off cooldown, which seems to be really the only thing that gives us safety. We did level up, which is another oh, I see the gemstone. It's here on this side, and
The forest grew quiet again.
Okay.
The respite from danger was only temporary.
Alright, I think we've gotten another checkpoint now. With one skill point, do we want to spend it on anything? Do you want to improve your Guardian Rage? Or... Actually... I want to gain one more level, because with 2 skill points, there's some more useful abilities that we can improve. Oh! Now we got this again. Again, I'm just gonna ignore enemies until I get to the inevitable barrier. Okay, oh. And now I'm gonna attack enemies because that seems to be the way to get past. Excuse me? Okay, now we should be able to go past. Okay. I'm slowly learning, or relearning, how to get through. Oh, and this gauntlet of traps is not helping. Alright, now let's... Okay, just in time. That thing did kill the enemies. We have another one of these, okay. Alright, let's be a bit more effective than we were last time. Let's make good use of all of our defensive abilities. And this guy is causing me a lot of grief with the walls he's putting up. Alright, still haven't taken damage. Sure, that's gonna change pretty quickly. And these ranged guys are the main priority to take down. Oh, there's another ranged guy. Didn't you see him? Oh. Okay, let's... Okay, let's get our bearings again. And let's try and do some damage. The combination of enemies with really annoying attacks that can target you from across the screen, plus enemies that chase you down, plus constant hazards on the ground, plus enemies that create additional hazards on the ground. It's a pretty vicious combination. Okay. Oh no. See, the walls are just what's getting... Oh, there's a... I didn't even notice that. Let's see if we can do something. That gives a bit of a health back. Alright, let's see if we can continue on with the good work. Take that guy down because he is a major threat. Right, I probably should have waited and used that twister later, but I used it then. It's okay. The twister goes off cooldown pretty quickly. It's the decoy that... takes forever to come back, and I need to take out these guys. They keep moving on top of all the annoying stuff they do. They move in really annoying and evasive ways. And I think we've got a... Yes. Got another one of these. But we're not quite done. Again, focusing down these guys as much as I can. We're not getting as much experience as I would like. Because one more level and one more point in our twister would be really helpful. Because it is only level 1 right now, and making it level 2... Oh, we got it. I think this might be it.
The land was scarred. Rhea Dana's shrine, the catalyst to all that had happened, was no doubt nearby.
Alright, before we go, let's just get some of this health. We do get another checkpoint. I think, no doubt, boss battle is coming up. Ooh boy. Oh, this is ominous.
There they were. The creature roared, but flight was no longer on the hero's mind. The Bergson now stood their ground, ready to take action.
Uh-oh. Alright. I think it makes sense to use my Guardian Rage. Oh, I'm doing barely any damage to it. Wow. Oh no. Okay. Okay, whoop. Let me just do this. Alright. Put on my decoy. Again, I think... I got hit anyway. Again, I think getting gemstones is the way to do good stuff in this fight. Because it does give you a bit of heal. Oh, what? Oh my god, what happened there? Okay. I was gonna say, the gemstones do give you a bit of healing, and they do clear out some of the nonsense on the screen. We might be here for a while. Alright. Oh, no. What are you doing? Maybe I should just do damage to it like this, throw down my twister near it, do damage like that, and I should only use my... the walls that these guys are creating. I don't think these guys should be allowed in this boss fight. Because I don't think extra walls are a fair challenge in a fight where the entire ground can potentially fill up with static damaging hazards. And again, this is one of those bosses where just touching it will seemingly take away all of my... Is there no way to... Is that an undodgeable attack? Is the only way to dodge it to be on the other side of the screen? That might be the case. Yeah, but how would I reach the other side of the screen if that's the case? Yeah, I'm struggling with this. That kind of worked. Okay. 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 I am really struggling, but we did get a gemstone. And yet another gemstone. Oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I'm just gonna use this gemstone. Gonna throw down my decoy as well, and okay, I think we've figured out how to dodge that beam attack. Although I do think you should be able to evade past it. Okay. I do have my Guardian Rage as well. I need to be mindful that it's there and not forget that I have it like I have done at points in the past. We have one of these as well, which I'm going to save. You know what? No point saving it. Let's just use it. And there's another gemstone on the ground, which is great news for me. Great news for us. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, I got hit by that. I'm gonna save the gemstone for... Oh. These pillars inactive? Oh no, I think this might be the final push where we've just got to do damage to it. Okay, I'm gonna go into Guardian Rage mode. We might not have enough. Nope. No, not quite. Alright, let's try this again. Now that we understand how to dodge that sweeping beam attack, which I still think is a bit cheap of the game to not let you evade past. And like to just change the rules of the game on you like that. That's a bit harsh. In my humble opinion. Let's use our decoy to good effect. Let's do as much damage to it as we can without having to use our gemstones, because it looks like these things do go away after a while and will no longer be in the fight past a certain point, although we do have to use it now because... Uh-oh. What do you... Come on, man. You're supposed to give me a window where I can attack you. You were just doing your attack the whole time. That was unfair. Alright. I think a good idea is to just use my rage now, and then pick up the gemstone, and then use it now. And we get another gemstone. Oh my god, he does that attack. And it's... That attack is really just... We can still use that pillar at least once more. Okay, and I think we've got to use it now. I've got to use my... Oh, my decoy is not... My decoy is what is going to save me if we get through this. It's going to do damage to it. Oh no! Oh my god! Come on, you're... Okay, going into rage mode. Oh no! Come on! Oh, we finally did it. Okay. Whew. Yeah, my commentary there wasn't the best, mainly because I was learning on the fly how to fight this guy. Or relearning, and it's a lot harder on hard mode. He seems to have way too much health. But we got through it in the end, and I can already tell you, zero chance I would have been able to do that with any other character.
Disbelief was not a strong enough word, and denial was not a luxury they could afford. They knew all too well that Grandma Margaret was gone. A hero may fade, but they never disappear. Their actions left to echo through an eternity, carried by those lives they touched. No one could believe that Grandma Margaret had passed away. The Bergsons shed their tears, hearts filled with sorrow. Ben and John were shocked to their core. The letter left by their mother spoke of a terrible secret, the one way to stop the corruption. The only way, she claimed, was to sacrifice their soon-to-be-born child to the god of Mount Morta. It was unthinkable. Perhaps their mother had made a mistake, had somehow misinterpreted the signs and ciphers. John thought they should keep the letter a secret for now.
All right. Wow. I was so caught up in the end of that boss fight that I totally did not. I completely glossed over the fact that Grandma Margaret died fighting off the creature at the end. And there was a sad sequence there where they were showing her funeral, but that wasn't the only bombshell. Apparently, the only way it seems to satisfy whatever malevolent entity is causing all of this is to sacrifice the child that I believe Mary is about to give birth to. That is a bitter pill to swallow. Before we end this episode, let's just take a look at this cutscene.
John did not look up, dreading even the possibility of having to look his wife in the eye. How could he tell her so terrible a truth? Mark did not know what the truth was, only that something horribly heavy was weighing down his father's spirit. And Mary, oblivious, was daydreaming about the child she would soon bring into the world.
Okay, yeah. Again, a very somber note to end this video on. But it is indeed time to bring it to a close. We did complete our objective. Went in as Lucy, got through a pretty difficult area, and at the end of it was a pretty difficult boss fight. Now, one thing that made it difficult was that the game introduces new mechanics, but then it doesn't really explain them chiefly using your gemstones, and because that is the key to beating that boss. But not just doing that, but using them effectively. If you just use them, you know, immediately, then those pillars will run out of charges, and you will have squandered potential healing by using them when you weren't at full health. So it takes a bit of finesse to get through that boss fight, and I mean, I feel like I was playing reasonably okay. One thing that was again throwing me off was that it seemed that this boss was taking away all of Lucy's shields with single attacks. The other thing that was messing me up was I had no idea how to dodge that sweeping beam attack, which I still think you should be able to evade past it. Unless there's some really intricate timing on the evade that I was just missing every time. It seemed that it was scripted to always do damage to you unless you ran all the way to the other side. Which, I mean, we got through it in the end, but that prolonged the video, I think, a little bit unnecessarily. But yeah, that's that done. When we come back, we will either progress with the main story by going further into the second chapter, or we'll go back into the Kildippo caves. That will depend on whether there are extra souvenirs and encounters to find in the caves. I think we're almost done. There might be one more. But anyway, we'll find out about that at the start of the next episode. For now, I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me for the next part. So until then, take care.